Our favorite setup is back. The gap setup this week started with TGHL. TGHL started running Monday pre-market. When we add its daily chart, you can see a real obvious gap. It immediately started rejecting this gap, which confirmed the strength of it. It even rejected it a second time. Once it broke, we got in, and we put our stop loss below the gap. It gave us almost immediately 100% profit. That's why we love gap plays. The second one of the week was CTNT. This one started getting some interesting action in after hours on Monday when it got a volume spike. On its daily chart, we can see not one, but two gaps. The question of is this a strong resistance area was being answered when it rejected right at the gap zones. It rejected both gaps. So when do we enter now? Well, because the second gap is real close to the first one, we can play it safe and wait for the second one to break. Because if we enter when it breaks the first gap, there is a possibility it immediately rejects again at the second one. 2 hours after the volume spike, it broke it strongly, so we got in. It gave us a 40% move to $4. In hindsight, we could have entered when it broke the first gap, but you can better be too sure than losing your money. The third and final gap play of the week was LASE. This one started running Tuesday pre-market. When we add its daily chart, we can see an obvious gap again from $1.92 to $1.78. We didn't have any confirmation yet of the strength of the gap. So when it broke the gap, we didn't enter. We didn't know if it was big resistance. When it pulled back, we saw it was a strong resistance because it now used it as support. It bounced exactly from the gap zone. So when it consolidated right in the gap zone, we started our position. We put our stop loss right below the gap, so we only risked a few percent. So it was a really nice risk-to-reward entry. Once it broke the gap again, it never looked back and gave us an insane 140% move. Crazy move, right? And that with only risking a few percent. Do you see how easy gap setups are? You don't need to know much and you can easily make big money. Another way that is really easy is the inside bar structure. We talked about this one so much in previous videos. The inside bar structure. This one had a nice inside bar structure. ANY was a great example of this week. NE started running big time this Monday. It exploded for almost 200% with really big volume. The second day, it didn't die, but consolidated really nicely with relatively low volume compared to its big move day. That means that now the inside bar setup has been formed. The second day candle is fully inside the first day candle with relatively lower volume. Now we just mark the high and low of the inside bar and wait for it to break the high on the third day. So, when it broke the $4.47 level on Wednesday, we got in. It gave us a nice stress-free 35% move. The second one was a bit less pretty, but still fine. FOFO. Just like NE did FOFO also get a really explosive move Monday. It exploded for 150% with really big volume. At the end of the day, it went down pretty hard though, which is not the nicest to see. But in after hours and pre-market, it started consolidating. And the second day, it even went up a bit. That's why this had still a nice potential according to us. Just like NE, we marked the high and low of the second day candle. Wednesday, in pre-market, it broke the $4.49 level. So we got in. It gave us almost a crazy 100% move. The last play we want to talk about this week is VERU. This one started running Thursday. When we take a look at its daily chart, we can see this one also has a gap. But it didn't confirm the strength of this zone. It just went straight through it. So we didn't enter. We had to look for another entry possibility. When we zoom out some more on the daily chart, we can see there was another gap. But this gap already filled. When we zoom out even a bit more, we see that the top of this gap still is a really strong resistance, because even though it filled the gap, it's still rejected strongly around there. More precisely, the $4.50 level is the level where it bounced from several times. So this would be our strong breakout level, especially when it rejected from the level this Thursday. 4 minutes after its rejection, it broke it. So we got in with our stop loss right below the level. It exploded after the breakout and gave us a really quick 50% move. This high of the day wasn't random. When you look at the daily chart, you can see that this is a really strong zone it used as support first and used several times as resistance after. It also is the start of a really big gap. For us, plenty of reasons to sell our position when it came close to the level. Do you see how easy these plays are? I hope you learned something, and I hope this video helped you in any way further in your trading career. Let us know if you've got some questions, or if you want us to talk about a specific stock or setup. Keep your eyes open. It's going to be a hot summer. See you, hopefully next time. Bye.